Hello, everyone. I'm Nimrod Knoller, head of Lava Foundation, and we're at the June Lava Ecosystem Call. And today I have with me Michael Stephan from Electric Blue GmbH, our new partner that was announced just last week. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Nimrod. Hello, everybody. Great to be here.
Great having you. Great having you. And we're looking forward to hear more about Electric Blue and the partnership later on in this call today. So quickly, let's jump into our agenda. So the agenda is for today, we're pushing Lava Summer in, and the main topics we're going to discuss today are the chain ops, network usage, and then product and tech, what we have planned and stored for next month and what we're doing last month. Marketing, how last month went and what's planned for next month. Same with sales and partnership. Then we have the partner spotlight with Michael and Electric Blue. And then in the end, how you can help. So on the chain operations side, the network top-ups, right? In June, we topped up 143 million Lava to the RPC pools. Just to be clear, what we mean by top-ups is topping up the RPC pools that then are distributed between the providers. That's predominantly based off of revenue. So foundation share this time is decreased from 51% in March to only 24% contribution from the foundation. The rest came from revenues. In the same time, the Lava distribution has been constantly growing. When we're looking at the activity of the RPC and the gateway, the main things that we can take with us is that in the last 30 days, we saw almost 10% of the total relays within the lifetime of the whole of Lava since we had mainnet. It's amazing growth on this level. It's really great to see this usage picking up. Same on the CUs. CUs had only 5.3%, but still quite a lot for single months, right? And when we look at the chain distribution, almost 70% is EVM chains. So Polygon in the lead with 33, but after that, Arbitrum-based and Ethereum, slightly over 70%. And after that, Near, Starknet, Lava, and BNB and 43 other chains are responsible for about 11% of the usage. Jumping into the next topic, product. We are pushing at the moment 3 products at the same time. One is that latency improvement. So the latency improvements and Cosmos are already live. The second one is the version 2 of the gateway. That's still in testing, ready and should be ready by the end of this week, the testing phase, and will go live early next month. Last, that we have a soft launch of the chain dashboard, and we'll get more into that, but more or less that is ready to be pushed out. So latency improvement, PC quality, right? That's a major focus for us. The goal is to hit around 50 milliseconds across the board on all chains that Lava is live on. The pilot is now live on Cosmos Hub. Results will be coming soon, later this week. At the same time, we are preparing to expand it to 3 VMs, to Polygon, Arbitrum, and Ethereum. By next week, maybe it will be pushed end of next week, but we'll see how that works out. We also managed to improve the approach since the last ecosystem call with Paulin and Ignacio. When a request arrives, we check the speed and the recent response time. If it's below the cutoff speed, it goes into the eligibility pool. If it's too slow, it's set aside, but we added a safety net. So in case that everybody is too slow, then the whole pool could be still used. So we don't have a cutoff or a hit in our liveliness, and then our request is not being treated at all. Next is the gateway, our V2. So focusing here on improving the usability. We have the payment processor ready. It's now in testing phase, should be done by the end of the week, full release next month. The main thing that it unlocks is the direct payments, better control of the customers, and you can upgrade proactively in a very easy way. Same with the payments, very easy payment flows, which was a big issue so far for Lava. Payments were not very streamlined. And of course, you have an admin view. Then last product that we're pushing forward, we're talking about the chain dashboard. Chain dashboard, again, it's a focus on transparency, make it easier for token holders to see what is going on the chain, from chain perspective, how much is being unlocked at any point in time, the unbonding queue, bridge activity, and so on and so forth. We are rolling it out next week with the first beta users. The expectation was, I know, to have it already out. We had to a bit deprioritize because of troubles with the other two products that had a higher priority, but now it's finally planned to be released next week. After we gather after we get feedback from the first beta users, we will be able to do the full release, aiming for mid-July, and we'll keep you, of course, posted. You can already see a bit more or less how it will look like, and covering most important topics from unbonding queues, top validator stake, general tokenomics information. Very, very interesting. And I highly recommend all token holders to try and interact with it if you can later. Next part, marketing. Marketing, we were focusing a lot this month on positioning and growth throughout all channels. So X, both reach and impressions grew, LinkedIn engagement grew. We reached an all-time high on LinkedIn. We have a particular focus on LinkedIn in the last month because of this more institutional angle that Lava is taking, and that we continue to push that. The main highlights for June that we had were on the event side. We attended 4 events. We're at Proof of Talk, Berlin Blockchain Week, Philippine Blockchain Week, and Point Zero in Zurich. And we had 2 announcements, both a Bay BHL Sandbox announcement and the Electric Blue announcement with Michael. And we had the 2 press release, one for each announcement. So the first was released on the Defiant regarding the Alba Bay partnership. Second one, BTC Echo. What is next for Lava from a marketing perspective? So this month we're focusing on releasing the new website, and Sandbox flows will also be integrated in there, but as well as the gateway flows. So the gateway will be embedded in the new website. That would be linked end to end, and we'll have more new user announcements pushed by, or with a nice push from the Sandboxes. Then on the sales side, and sales, again, the meaning is for subscription sales for the RPC usage. We had 3 deals closed this month. We had 9 pushed to next month. The main issue really is the gateway, that we're just waiting for that to come. The old gateway, the old process was very cumbersome. Getting payments was very cumbersome. Signing the agreements, everything took a lot of time. The new gateway should streamline everything, and we'd expect to see growth next month. The Sandbox deals are already bringing quite a lot of leads, so over 44 leads just driven from the Sandbox deals within 3 weeks alone. Right? So we see a great push from there, and we're very optimistic on that perspective. In the same time, just a quick distribution or breakdown of our users or the different teams that use Lava. What do we have? So the main majority is on the infra side, of course. Unfortunately, a lot on the infra side, payments as well. Few L1, L2s, but tokenization is number 3. Predominantly due to the Sandboxes, and then kind of laggers. We have different data services, DeFi, node operators, and miscellaneous. More on the partnerships and the Sandboxes. So the first Sandbox that we announced was about Alba Bay. We can see more on the website or different channels. You can see more of the details, but the press release links to the landing pages and registration pages for the Sandbox if you'd want to register, or one of your teams or connections would want to register. The Alba Bay project is based in the Dominican Republic. It's a very large tokenization project, $5.5 billion in development in general, over 40 million square kilometers. and they're looking to tokenize this big parts of that. They're open for tokenization. We're helping them to bring in the different tokenization platforms and different crypto ecosystem that can support tokenization tokenization. On the Electric Blue, won't spoil too much. We have Michael here with us. He'll tell us more in a second. Very interesting project based out of Germany, or focusing on the Germany electric market. And I'll keep the suspense for Michael. Just a reminder why we're doing this and the focus for Lava. The idea here is again to support us in closing more or quicker different projects that would use the Lava RPC. These sandboxes are only open for Lava ecosystem or users, right? And therefore it pushes the usage-based growth, and of course, working together and improves the institutional credibility. And at this point, I'll give the stage to Michael to share more about Electric Blue and the collaboration.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nimrod. A lot of exciting stuff going on. Very, very fascinating. And thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for giving me the chance to give a short introduction to our common project. So it's about tokenizing battery storage assets to enable Germany's energy transition. Why battery storage assets? The reason is easy. We have in Germany huge installations of wind and huge installations of solar, but these intermittent production facilities miss battery storage assets. The battery storage assets are necessary because the intermittency needs to be leveled out. And this is where the missing link of the energy transition, the battery storage assets, come into play. There's one other thing which is important for me. We have a certain time constraint. We need to invest in those battery storage assets until year end. This is why I am very glad that Nimrod made the proposal to open this institutional sandbox to present this project to you in detail. So, why tokenization? A question which has been raised, of course, quite often. And I quote Nimrod here, if I may. So, basically, there are three reasons, I would say. So, first, there's a quite high access barrier for battery assets, storage assets, which is normally you have for such utility scale BESS, it's institutional investors, so funds and other institutional investors who bring up the capital necessary for financing of these assets. It would be great to have and open these assets to a new asset class, to a new kind of professional capital. And this is why we are looking for a tokenization solution as well. So not only the standard investors, but we hope to find additional investors who are willing to invest in these real world assets. Second thing is the investors normally pay quite a significant premium for the energy assets. And if you are able to fraction these investments or to tokenize fractions of these investments, we hope to narrow down the cost of capital as well. Now, we don't say problem, I have a challenge, to be honest, because there's a regulatory deadline which gives us time until year end to finance these two-way BESS projects. There's an exemption. Those projects don't have to pay grid fees, meaning that the profitability is much higher than for just one-way storage facilities. So with this project, with this sandbox, which we have opened, we hope to lower the access barrier, to present an illiquidity premium, but also to be able to meet the regulatory deadline. All in all, I was quite impressed how many real-world assets have been tokenized during the last years, but it seems to be still a growing market. So perfect to have battery assets join the party. So I'm very happy, as I said before, to work with Lava on this project. I'm in energy since more than 30 years now. I've been managing director of a couple of energy companies, and I've invested billions of euro for my company in this market. But I must say, this is the best investment which I've seen during the last 30 years. BESS are absolutely necessary for the market. They are the missing link for the energy transition. And because there's such a huge need in the market, it also pays off significantly for the owners of these batteries. I may even say so, they seem to be made for this missing link. They seem to be made for this intermittency of wind and solar, and they perfectly fit into the gap. And I will show the numbers and the profitability, and it's highly double-digit IRR, as I will show later on. So we talked about Lava. As I said before, speed to market is important to me. These two-way battery storage facilities, they are looking for financing. It is needed, and we need it before year end. So I'm happy for everybody who is willing to join the Sandbox. Very shortly, some words for Electric Blue. It was founded in 2018. We started as a trading company, actually. We started in 2022 also to take up significant renewable and storage assets. So the biggest wind farm in Germany, which has 695 megawatt installed capacity, so it's really huge. The new sectors 8 and 9, they are managed and traded by my company, and also significant battery assets. So we have a project where we onboard 2 batteries per month. Customers are IPPs, local utilities, and so on. So we are a direct marketing company and also a trading company, trading the electricity of our customers. In order to broaden the basis for our trading activities, the company started a BESS pipeline, a battery asset storage facility pipeline across Germany, and we have some 500 megawatt of battery projects for which we are looking for some investors. I said before, I would also give a short description of the profitability. So we have, I took here one project, one battery project of 6 megawatt and 18 megawatt hours. So it's a 3 hours battery. The technology is quite standard, so it's not a risky technology. It's a proven technology which has been installed in Germany a couple of times, but also around the world. So the technology itself, the batteries as missing link for solar and wind, is a standard and in many countries used technology. You see, maybe most interesting, the net yield, the IRR is around 27% for this project, and it will be, presumably, if the spreads on the market does not change, also be at the same height for the whole portfolio. So what we did on the right-hand side is we scaled up from our project and did a projection for the 500 megawatt projects. And if so, we will reach an annual gross revenue of 147 million euro per year, which will in 10 years cumulated net period sum up to 1.2 billion euro. Now, what are we expecting? We hope that you express your interests and share your profile. We then will, with our specialized teams, do the selection and provide you in the next step with due diligence packages for our battery projects, and then develop together with you the compliant tokenization framework, which is more or less great. Would be if we, for example, take one of the best projects which are ready to build and can, if we hurry up, still be operational this year. We can have a test case. You will see also the cash flows, hopefully already until year end, and then we can scale up and do hopefully the whole pipeline of projects which we have at hand. So I heartily invite you to join the Sandbox, and I'm really looking forward to discussing the details and do the journey together with Nimrod and the investors. And now I hand over to Nimrod again.
Thank you very much, Michael. Maybe just a quick recap. I think from the Lava ecosystem perspective, this is a great opportunity. Our ecosystem, the projects that we're reaching out to bring to this, they all do. And the ability to bring this a very good business opportunity for them is, of course, creates value through the whole ecosystem. So that's a very good opportunity for us. And thank you very much, Michael, for this collaboration. We very much cherish it. I do have a question for you. What would be, from your perspective, a success, considered success for the Sandbox?
Of course, if we have many investors who are interested to get to know more about the project, I would even leave it with that, because I'm happily willing to discuss the details of the profitability of the BESS assets. So for me, it would be fine already to have a couple of investors with whom to go into the details and look really into BESS projects and see details of our pipeline.
Amazing. Cool. Thank you very much, Michael. And just maybe jump to the last slide and kind of more call to action to the ecosystem, to the viewers. How can you help? So introductions, again, and introductions to relevant L1s that want to bring tokenization or RWAs to their chains. That would be great. Tokenization platforms. Payment rails, of course, is another very interesting one. Different asset managers and crypto funds in the space as well. All very, very relevant for these sandboxes. But in general, actually, from Lava's perspective, introductions to any company or DApp that is interested in RPC usage, that would also be very welcome. In the same time, more interesting use cases, sandboxes like that, introductions to them, that would be also fantastic. So I want to thank everybody for listening. If you stuck with us so far, thank you, Michael, again for joining me. And
thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon.